afterwards, I mean, I will be probably looking at shedding the weight as quick as I can, but as healthy as I can.
You must have thought about it. You're thinking, right, OK, how long before I'm back in my jeans?
I've actually already got my nanny sorted. Is that terrible?
Yes.
No, but it's my sister. It's not.
She's going to wear your jeans too.
No, well, yeah, she might get in one leg. But only for a couple of days a week. More to help me as well, because it's not just. I don't just want to do it because of pressure for the people. I want to do it for me. I don't
know how you feel.
Did you have a hard time?
Oh, do you know I'm still struggling?
And how old is he?
17, my eldest.
There's hope for me yet, then.
Yeah, so still I'm eating for 3 now. I have 3 children now. I'm still eating for them.
But do you think that women in our position
Absolutely.
have a responsibility?
I get so annoyed. And it's nothing to do with them, because inside I actually do admire them. You know, like Gabby Orth just had twins, and she looks amazing. But I do kind of go, great, anyway. You know, I don't want to see it, but I think that's because of my guilt, because it's like, well, you know, if she can do it, we can do it, you know, we can do it. But I didn't want to. I was just so wrapped up in my children that the last thing I even thought about was the gym or what I'm eating.
But what about these women that actually naturally, you know, that are slim, fast metabolism, they naturally snap back into place, and then they still get penalised.
Don't you kind of just want to slap them?
Just because you're not one of them.
What was it like for you, Kim?
I was quite young when I had my first, and I was only 18, so I found it quite easy, really, to get back in. Although I didn't try. I didn't physically do anything. I didn't go out running. Stop saying, love it, sorry. I didn't physically go out running or anything like that. I mean, I just found I had too much to do.
Yeah.
I just had too much to do. I had a baby to look after, and, you know...
Were you not disappointed, all of you, about losing your breasts when you lost your weight?
Oh, you can still get one up on us, can't you? She never gives up with this boob talk.
No. What about you, anyway? You were really slim, anyway.
No, I wasn't. I mean, I was convinced that I was going to be back in kind of normal clothes, you know, within 2 or 3 weeks, and it was a good 5 months later. I was still wearing those lovely pregnancy trousers. Well, I know, but I was disappointed, and you do set yourself up for a fall, don't you? But once you get those trousers with a nice stretchy bit at the front, oh, they're hard to give up, aren't they?
Well, I've never given mine up. I wouldn't know.
But if I was to have another child, which is unlikely, it has to be said, I wouldn't put myself under as much pressure. I absolutely wouldn't. Not just in terms of the weight, but just wanting to get back to work, wanting to get back and do all of that. I'm convinced. And that thing about sleep when the baby sleeps, I would do it.
I always did and still do.
Well, you can hold me to this. I might completely change my mind when the baby's here.
Well, that is your prerogative, so do it. Still to come, Gary Beadle and Emmerdale secretary siren Kelly Windsor, actress Adele Silva. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to Tuesdays This Women. Terry Dwyer has made her way through 5 chocolate bars and 3 pies and a packet of chips. Coming up, Beadle's about Gary, that is. He'll be here very soon, along with one of the country's most popular babes, actress Adele Silva. And remember to phone us in with your funny old proposals. The weirder the wedding proposal, the better. Make me feel bad about myself, why don't you? Now, there's a programme starting tonight. It's called No Sex Please, We're Teenagers. It's on BBC Two. And basically they've challenged 12 teenagers aged between the age of 15 and 17 to remain celibate for 5 whole months. What a thought. I don't know how they're going to consider it. And apparently they attend... The audience are also agreeing now.
I know, yeah.
I was trying to be sarcastic, but it didn't work. And apparently they attend what's called a romance academy, which is organised by some Christian youth workers. And they explore, you know, what relationships should be really about and the depth and emotions, etc., etc. So that is the kind of setup. Here's a wee clip.
Rachel and Dan have selected 12 youngsters aged 15 to 17 who said they'd be prepared to give up sex for the duration of the project and to live their lives according to the values their grandparents would have grown up with. It's a lifestyle based on Christian beliefs, but in a world awash with pro-sex messages, will they keep it up?
Just keep reminding me why I'm doing this, please.
The 12 pioneers were the founding members of what they've called the Romance Academy, most of whom have never met before, will go on an emotional journey together, taking them 5,000 miles away from home to learn about relationships.
What is it that makes a great relationship? It isn't sex.
Romance.
I love you. I love you too.
And how not to have sex.
How not to have sex. Well, I don't know, maybe
Just don't have it.
I'm not talking about your sex life now.
Have a baby, you'll be all right when I have sex after that. Maybe I'm having knee-jerk reactions. Now, I haven't seen the whole programme, and so, you know, it's kind of unfair to judge, but I'm really uneasy with that, because I just think there must be so many teenagers out there who haven't had sex, you know, who are going through the usual kind of adolescent, oh, I'm going to do... And it's kind of presented as if it is the unusual thing not to have sex. You know, that all 15 and 17-year-olds are. So I think if I was watching that as a geeky 15-year-old that I was, but very charming in my way, I would say, oh no, everybody's at it, and I'm not at it. I haven't even got to number 1. What's number 1 again? Well, hand up your shirt.
First base,
Thank you. Yeah.
I loved that section.
Went on for quite a long while with you, didn't
Yes.
it? Am I overreacting?
I think it's a really good thing. I think for youngsters of that age to be able to just stop and take 5 and take a look at themselves and find out things about themselves. They're always in so much of a rush now to lose their virginity. It used to be so much more of a special thing. Not always, not in Colleen's case, but it was... No, it actually was in yours.
It was in mine, actually.
I know, that's why I said it. But it used to be, you know, a chance to think about the meanings of relationships and the consequences. You know, babies, STDs. No, but I mean, now it'll give them a chance to think about things like that. I think it's
Well, it might work for these people, and we'll find out. I mean, I worry about it as a television programme because, you know, there's an obvious titillation factor in there, isn't it? And I just think of a bunch of middle-aged people sitting around saying, I know, we'll get teenagers talking about sex, and we'll dress it up as if we're being very responsible, which is my concern about that. The whole principle of thinking more widely about sex and all the rest of it taught in schools, I think, is a fabulous idea. Whether it's right for telly, I'm not so sure.
I just think it's promoting underage sex. That's my feeling. At 15, they shouldn't even be having
It's
sex.
illegal.
Never
Yes,
mind.
but I mean, they shouldn't be.
but
And in
they
an
are.
ideal world, they should wait till they're married and it should be all lovely and romantic. But we're not in an ideal world, and they are having
Some
sex.
of us don't get proposed to.
I didn't at 15. Hey, it's just that times change so
You
much.
didn't
I mean,
at 15?
no. When I was at school, there was a lot of pressure from other girls to.
I think you've got... Have you got something to tell us?
No.
What?
No, go on.
Right. Oh, you. Yeah. Bad influence here. No, but when I was at school, there was a lot of pressure from other girls to have sex. If you didn't, it was you were considered frigid. What was the word?
that was a good
Frigid
word,
by the
wasn't it?
boys.
Frigid.
You know, I was quite happy. I was, you know, I waited a long time.
But that was nice then. That was nice then. But maybe what they're trying to do here is recapture that a little bit, make youngsters nowadays think a little bit more like that, rather than rushing because, you know, her mate's done it or her across the road has done it.
Well, I'd like to think they would, but I don't know. You know, I was going to say there's sex everywhere. Come to my house, you'll see a lack of it. But anyway, everywhere else there is. It's not that bad. Don't feel sorry for me, don't write in. You know, so I don't know if they're going to be able to be protected enough from that bombardment of kind of sexual influences to do that. But do you not think that the sexual age, the sort of legal age